Hi, my name is Jonathan Ramos, and I'm going to be working on these Metco 14E guns. I got a 16E over there as well, and it just hasn't been cleaned in a while, and I've noticed that there's a little bit of oil leaking, so I'm not a certified, metalizing gun technician, or whatever you want to call it, but I've taken these apart, so see if I can figure out what's going on. I'm just going to poke around and see if anything looks weird. So here we go. These are just the little tools for cleaning things like oxyacetylene torches. Lost count, but I think that's about it. This tip looks pretty rough. It's got a bunch of melted zinc right on there. May have to replace the tip. The guys are still saying it works though, so I'm surprised. I wouldn't normally do this, but this one just seems really rough. Honestly, I don't know if this is right to do, but I've seen guys doing it to their welding equipment, and I haven't had any trouble with it. My alarms went off, so I had to restart recording. Can't get it out. I've never seen it coat the inside like that. may be a totally bad idea trying to get it out like this. But that's how I've learned a lot of this stuff. Trial and error. I think we're just gonna, if the guys say it's been working really good, we're just gonna see if it pushes wire through with this junk in here. It may not. And if it doesn't, I'm just gonna have to replace it. So just move on. Say, what does that say on there? 9E and 42, just in case you guys are curious. So actually, to make it easy to pull out the, if I remember correctly, I think it's called a siphon plug. To pull that out, it's easier to put this back together and kind of pull that like that. Sometimes you have to really give it the business. So, that doesn't look too dirty, but I don't know. I mean, that's what I'm used to seeing. We'll give it a little clean off and put some of this Krytox on the O-rings. I used to not use this, but man, this stuff made a big difference. My gun was popping and stuff like that, and this kind of got rid of that. I was surprised. You can see it stop right in there. This one's a little small. So there's 4 of these. And then there's another one. I don't remember if that's it. Oh, there's 1, 2 of those. Well, let's try them. Oh, it's a little too big. Too big. You can see it pop out right there. As I was saying before, my alarm rudely interrupted me again. I'm going to get a rag to clean some of this stuff off, and I'll be right back. Put some of this Krytox on there. They really don't tell you how much to apply, how to apply it, so I just put a real thin layer on there. Maybe it's too much, maybe it's too little, I have no idea. But I haven't had any problems with it. I've actually, like I said, it was one of the components that helped fix the popping noise that this gun used to make. that little bit out of there. That's probably good for that. Set it over here to the side. Then I'll do the same thing with this nozzle, even though I don't have a whole lot of hope for it. This is what I always do now, since the book tells you to do it. When I first started working on these, though, I didn't have a book. I had 2 metalizing guns, so I would take one apart, and if I got stuck, couldn't figure out how to put something back together, I just took apart the other metalizing gun to try to get some clues. Luckily, I never got stuck with both of them apart and having to pay somebody else to put it back together. So, that is what it is. So, there's typically nothing that I really do inside of here. I can wipe it out with a rag, put this crack tops away. I think all this stuff can pretty much go back in while we're working on the next part. Make sure it clicks all the way in. So we're just screwing this back on. I'm gonna have to pause every now and then because I am at work and there's other things that have to be taken care of as well. There's the air cap and whatever this thing's called, holds everything together. Okay, now let's work on the gears. This is always you just kind of push that in and twist it. I mean, if you have one of these guns, you should already know this by now. The fact that that's shiny in the middle tells me that it's worn in the middle. It's like a groove. Can you see it? Harder to see on camera. I'll show you a trick that I do later on, so that way if I can't see it, I'll just tell you. I just take this little wheel and you know, take the gear off of this drive roller, and you know, the little things that the ink pads that you like put, I don't know what that thing's called, put like a stamp in it and then you stamp it on a piece of paper. I just roll this in the ink and then put like a white piece of paper on some glass, and then just take this drive roll and roll it across on top of that paper that's on the glass. And if there's only lines, if there's lines on the outside, none in the middle, then you know it's worn in the middle. So anyways, let's carry on. That looks pretty rough in there, kind of hard to see. It's really dirty, so hold the gun upside down like this. Stick the key in. Might need the other key. I always forget which way this goes. I think. Gear. Now we gotta undo the drive roll. Doing, in case you guys can't see, just taking this, sliding it right over, gosh, you can see that center shaft with the threads on it, and putting those two little studs on this thing inside those holes. Like this. And I always forget, but you're going to turn this way to undo it. At least for this 14E. 16E as well. Makes sense that that would be the way it is for all these guns, but I can't say that for sure. And it slid off. Yes, this much of a pain in the butt for me every single time. you guys have experience with this. Let me know if you have a better way, because this takes me entirely too long each time. I think this one's a little bit more stuck, but it's always a pain. In the video that Metco sent me too, he must have a brand new gun or something, because he just sticks the key in there and does it super easy. Guess it makes sense though, they wouldn't want to send you a video with somebody wrestling with it for like 30 minutes. There it is. I'm just gonna unscrew it with my finger and let it drop out, just like I did the gear. There it is. Okay. And it looks disgusting inside there. But honestly, that's hasn't really been a problem. It's something I intend to clean out whenever we do like a total breakdown, which we may need to do. So we'll see. Okay, so let's clean this stuff. Some of this stuff needs like some degreaser or something. It feels all nasty. Look at my hands. They were clean when we started. ¿Qué pasó? Well, I ran out of memory on my phone, so and I didn't realize it. Didn't let me know in the middle of the video. But I just brushed these off, got those clean. I actually had this apart. I put it back together for your benefit. So, just gonna take the screw off here so we can clean off these next drive rolls and gears. Put that screw to the side. So, to get this out, this is just a pin. Oh, let's see. Just push this guy out. And just remember that your drive roll is closest to where the screw was pulled out. So let's toss this to the side. Now let's take this apart. I had a couple thousand photos from work that I had to delete, so that way I could have more storage for this. Let's just kind of get all these loose. Screwdriver's really too big. See if I can pull it out. Screw number one, and it's longer than the screw that goes right here, so you'll know not to mix them up. Okay, last screw is out. Just kind of separate these two. Don't get this one mixed up. Well, I guess it'd be a little hard to get it mixed up with this one since the holes are different. I don't know if it was in the previous video, but I'm sure someone will say something about metal cross-contamination between these two. I haven't had trouble with it yet, but I assume if I do have trouble with it, I'll just get a new gear. Since these can last for quite a bit, I'll just put this to the side, clean this one. That way the wire grabs a little bit better. Seen some guys clean it out like this, but that takes forever. So this is pretty dirty on the inside, but I've cleaned it multiple times, and that stuff really never comes out of there. It's probably something that needs to like sit overnight in thinner or something, but we'll do that next time. See if I can get a little bit more light in here. Keep everything in the camera here, but this is what I'm working with here. A bunch of books with a hanger on it. So I really don't get flatheads. I kind of hate flatheads. You know, you always slide one way or the other out. Okay, so that drive roll is, this one's got a little bit of an indentation in it, but it's not that bad. I'm gonna go find some ink. I probably should have done it on this one while it was out, but I'm gonna use that one anyways. Try to get a little bit more life out of it. This one, this looks a little bit worse. We'll do the ink trick on this one. Alright, so I was not able to get the ink thing So I'm just gonna have to go with a Sharpie. Also couldn't find a piece of glass that would fit underneath this camera like this to be able to do this, so just gonna have to work with what we got. So first thing I do is go around and make all these black. When you first roll it, it's probably going to look a little rough because you're getting off all that excess. I'm trying to just stay in the camera here. Just go in the lines. I think that ought to do it. Let's take this wheel and roll it across the plastic. So it didn't leave a whole lot of marks behind. I think that Sharpie's a little dry. You can see how the marks are more on the edge of the wheel than anything else. So those center teeth. Back on here. Teeth in the middle are knocked down really low, so you're more likely for your wire to slip. Do our best to get anything sticky off there from that Sharpie. Okay, that's good enough. So we got this put back together. Now I need to put these guys back inside of here. This is usually a pain in the butt as well. Not as bad as taking them out when they've been in there for months. But we don't use them every day, so it's not like we're hardcore abusing them. Okay, so what I do, let me show you that again because it took me a while to figure this out. Get the tool that's got the little nipple thing, little raised cylinder. Stick the first piece on there. Have your gun where you can stick it in and raise this up. Don't try to do it like this and then flip this over. It's gonna just keep falling and messing up, so do it this way. You go up, put it right on the threads. So that way was to take it off. This way is going to be to put it back on. It's on there, just gotta keep getting it tight. Okay, let's see if I can keep tightening it, or if the whole thing is just spinning. Feels pretty snug. Yeah, so that looks good. It's gonna sit right just like that. next piece. Little raised, see how the little raised face goes towards the drive? Same thing. Raised face, pointed upwards towards the drive. Just like that. Okay, it's on the threads. Just finish getting it on there. These little nipple things don't slide back and forth. I kind of like that about this one. Because with this one, every time you touch something, you know, it just pushes it right through. You can't even really put any pressure down in there without accidentally moving them. Alright, so that's on. Now we're going to work on the harder part, which is taking off this stuff, so we can look inside and see if there's like a leak in a seal or something, for the reason why this oil is making its way on the outside of the gun. So I don't remember the correct sequence to go about this, but I remember generally what I have to do, so I'm just pretty much going to start taking crap apart, so let's see, where do we want to start at? Yeah, there's a screw back there, so I think we have to take that off first. This one takes a little Allen key in here. So that feels about perfect. That was a... what is that? 7:30 seconds. These numbers are not lined up very well. Well, I'm not going to go through counting all this, but it's that one right there. It's a Harbor Freight Allen wrenches where it starts to not line up with the wrenches. You really notice that stuff when you do a video. Never try to explain that before. Oh man, this guy's don't want to come out very easily. Sometimes there's the end of it right there. See right there? Sometimes you get a little bit if you get like some flashback or something, this gets melted a little bit. It gets really difficult to pull that out. So hopefully that's not the case. I've had to stick the Dremel down in there before just to take off some of the melting that is not really allowing it to come out. And that might be the case with this one. Let's try to give it a little bit more oomph. See if I can use the flathead to maybe 2 of these, stack it up a little bit higher. Man, those are not very good for doing that. You can't really see, can you? I'm just stacking those up so I can get some leverage. And then taking this, there it is. Maybe not. Jeez. Well, I may have to get the Dremel after this thing. I mean, it doesn't look that bad. I've seen worse. Got him out before. Well, let's keep trying. Maybe let's just try to take this out some more. That's what that looks like right there. I'll just set it to the side. I'll leave it on the Allen key because I don't think anything else needs this size. Let's put it over there to the side. God. Oh, there it is. It's pretty dirty. Try to clean it off a little bit. A little hole right there, that's where the Allen nut thingy kind of holds in there. The thingy. So. And this is missing one of those little, it's kind of like a pin that goes in here. It's missing a pin that kind of, you know, if you got this gun and you're moving around with a gun, this pin holds you from, it holds the wire from just slipping right out. It kind of keeps the wire tight in there. For some reason, these things always end up sliding out. I've replaced them several times. I don't know, I'm gonna have to get a better solution for that. Okay, so we got that. So there's a screw here, flathead here, flathead here. And there's a flathead like behind this stop switch in here. So what I do is I take off the handle. I think I leave this on. It's been a while since I've done this. I leave this whole piece on here. All this does is, you know, if you loosen it, that normally doesn't spin. See how that moves? You tighten it down and moves forward. All it does is it tells this thing to go down tighter, press down on the wire harder, or let up on the wire. So, at least that's what I found. The only thing that does. I don't know if that's the only thing, but that's all that I've seen what it does. So, let's do this handle first. Let's see if I can remember how that's done actually. Oh, I think I have to take this whole big front piece off. So let's do that. Okay, let's put that to the side. And then I got two more in the front. I'm gonna take this off. See the screws right there. there's everything. Oh. Well, turns out I didn't need to take that off. Oh well. Just leave it off. Put this thing back on there to hold the screws in. I think it holds the screws in, yeah. That holds them in there. And this screw, so I don't lose it, just put it right back in this hole. Okay, set that to the side. I guess I just didn't see this screw. Let's go ahead and take that off. Same thing, put it back in the hole. Well, I guess I can't yet. I think this little handle's like, if any water or anything gets in the gun or anything, it kind of drips through here, so it's always pretty disgusting. Or any of the zinc flakes, kind of go through here. Me and my wife were just talking about how glitter's made. I was almost thinking that maybe they do something like this gun, since it sprays out a bunch of glitter-looking stuff. Okay, there's that screw. That's the next one. You can see it, it's like back there. Just another simple flathead screw. You don't really have to see exactly what I'm doing, since it's pretty self-evident when you get there. And then these two kind of want to come apart right here. So I guess I can take apart this safety later on too and kind of show you guys, or I don't know what you want to call it, safety, wire stopper. They got a name for it in the book, I just don't remember it. So, alright, now you're down to this. Okay. So, let's go ahead and take this off. Well, let me see if I want to do this side first or this side. I think what I actually want to do is empty the oil out first. So that way when I'm taking all this stuff apart, oil doesn't just start getting everywhere. So I'm going to go get a cup. Probably have to do a whole different video for reassembling this, because this takes a lot of memory on my phone, and I already have 10,000 pictures of my kid as well. So okay, so let's just dump it right out. You can't see, but literally nothing is coming out. I don't know if that stuff's gotten too thick. Oh, there we go. Looks like it has quite a bit in there. It just probably needs to be changed. Oh yeah, it's really sludgy. I really don't have a better camera set up for you guys to see this. I'd imagine that's probably not good. That's what it looks like. really don't know how you can flush this stuff. I'm gonna figure out something though. I think flushing it with water would be a bad idea. So there's the hole right there. So that looks like it's honestly as good as that wants to get. I mean, this is the stuff I put in there, so it's not like, it's not super liquidy. This one's almost empty. So, from a Rylicon Metco. It's the only stuff I really want to put in these guns since they're so expensive. Yeah, I think that's about as good as that's gonna get. I'll try to take all that apart and clean it later. So, alright, let's get to the part with the bearings. First of all, oh, that was loose. It's kind of scary. There's always some gunk in here. Just kind of wiggle that back and forth till it pops off. Okay, so I just set that back in there so I don't lose it. Set it back over here. No, this guy's starting to leak out oil. Okay, now let's, since that's open, we'll kind of have to grab onto, I forgot which one of these nuts it's going to be, but we're going to have to grab onto one of them when we get and have all this off to, just like there's a shaft that goes all the way through to take that shaft off and to see if that seal that shaft goes through looks like it's damaged. When I get all this off, I may pause the video for a couple hours and just kind of try to let more of that oil drain out of there. Let me put these back where they came from. So these were the bolts. These are the long bolts that went through this thing. I'm just going to put them right back there. That way we don't lose that gasket and we don't lose the bolts. Alright, one more of these. That's all it does right there. It just pulls right apart. Don't get oil. See those black rubber things in there, the rings? You know, right? Well, let me get a pointer so you can see better. This black rubber stuff right here, that's the brake. You don't want to get like grease on that stuff, and then your metalizing gun will have trouble trying to stop. You know, you want to slow down your wire is going to start coming out way too fast. And I see grease down in there. So yeah, we definitely got some sort of a leak, or some airhead has taken that screw off right there and put way too much grease or something down in there. So we're just gonna take a look at it though, just in case. Alright, so let's keep moving forward. This right here, this is what the brake sits on. You probably can't avoid getting grease on there, so just like clean it with some soapy water or something afterwards, so that way your brake's not slipping. So okay. Let me try to remember how this worked. So you gotta take this nut off here. And see, there's the nut right there spinning on the other side. So someone's gotta give. You're either gonna take that one off, and then the whole thing, if I remember correctly, the whole thing slides out. Or you take this one off and you can start pulling that stuff off. And if that grease wasn't so bad in there, I could see the gears. Actually, let's see if I can open up this other port. See the other gears a little bit better. There it is. Okay, so there's that. If I remember correctly, you could take a crescent or just a wrench and hook it on, put it on here, and then take your flathead and take that out. I believe there's a bearing inside of there. I can't remember. I'll put that to the side. This rag is starting to make it look really messy. Alright, so we're down to these pieces. Alright, so I really don't remember how this goes, so I'm just going to grab something to hold onto this nut with, and something to turn this one with, and see which one gives first. So, let me go grab it real quick. No, too loose. Yeah, none of those are going to work, so try the old crescent wrench. It's our favorite tool here. Probably any blasted paint shop. Blast, paint, and metalize. Turning whatever you call this thing, a screwdriver with a socket on the end of it. Yeah, suckers. Let's put them back on just a little bit, just to pull them off. Let's take them off, put them to the side, put them on this mass coat wet film thickness gauge. Oops. see. Alright, so let me try to remember this moving like this, but being a pain in the butt to pull out. And you can kind of, like, if you look down here, that's the shaft that wants to move back and forth. And I figured it out a long time ago how to pull this thing all the way through. And I don't remember how I did that, so let's try to figure it out, I guess. I'll try holding onto this little turbine thing. So how this works is it shoots air underneath here and just it spins it that way. And that's just what drives everything. That's what drives all your, all this stuff. The drive rolls, the gears. It's what controls the speed that your wire comes out by tightening down that brake so it spins slower or spins faster. Okay, let's see if we can not tear anything up. I bet the guys over at Metco or I guess Orylicon and Plasma Powders and whoever else, they probably have some really cool stuff to set this gun on to work on it. We're over here working in the ghetto. Alright, so I just took that off super fast. Be really careful to put it back. I think it came off that way. I'm gonna have to go back and look at the book now. I put this on backwards one time, and it was a nightmare. It was so hard to figure out what the problem was. So don't put this little thing on backwards. Really pay attention how you pull it off. So, okay, so let's set that on the mouse coat. Wet foam thickness gauge. Bearing. That one, I don't think it matters if you get it. I don't think there is a backwards. So put that over there. And let's pull this little guy off. That one, I think, is... You need to have that down when you put it back together that way. Just because it needs to hold that spring in place. So we'll put that over there. We'll take this spring, set it right on there. That way we remember that. Okay. Oh, and here's your little, brake wheel thing. And I believe these go right back on top of here. Yeah. So that way the brake does not spin freely from the turbine. Let's put that back. Okay. Now let's see if we can get... I think this is supposed to be able to pull off. Oh, geez. I do not remember how that came out of there. I feel like I really had to tug on it pretty hard. Because this, I think this is really tight in that bearing. Alright, don't try this at home. That's why I'm doing it on the video. Need something better to tap it with. I just don't have all the tools right at my hands. Let's try to set it sideways. Maybe set this in here. Let's see if we can, okay, bearing pushed down a little bit. Let's see if we can get it small. Love taps. Oh, it went down some. Maybe that's what I did. Still more to go. Let's see if we can give it a little bit more room inside this turbine. Set some stuff on the edges to, that way this little thing is not having trouble pushing down at the bottom of that. Slide them out a little bit. Okay, that gives us a little bit more room. It's about flush with the bearing now. It's getting pretty dang close. Okay, it is flush with the bearing now. It's giving us quite a bit of room. Oh, and it just, okay. Pull out super easy now. Look at all that oil on there. Yeah, that oil's not supposed to make it through. So I guarantee you it's, I can't even see this stuff, but definitely needs to be replaced. These little oil seals. I caught this early on. I guarantee you if I would have let it go any longer, they would have been bringing this thing in, telling me that, you know, the brake's not working. The wire's going too fast. Those threads there are razor sharp too. I think I remember that last time. We just didn't have another shaft, so we just let it keep rolling. It's been working, but definitely need a replacement. I don't even know if you can see that. These threads are razor sharp. Last time I cut my finger open on them. Okay. So that's the only seal we have. There's no other O-rings around here. So looks like we need to take the turbine off so that way we can slide the old seal right here off and put a new one on there. Look inside this hole too. Just put my pinky in there with a rag so I can see. We're gonna go ahead and take this housing off too. That way we can see better inside of here. See if there's any gouges or scratches on that bronze looking piece where this little seal slides down inside of there. You know, I bet I have to take these stupid wheels back off. Maybe not. No, I think actually it's probably good that they're there, so I can get a hold on, hopefully get a hold on it. I had enough trouble the first time. Okay, so there we go. Yep, nope. Okay. because this one's the one that where they move on you. Try this one. Okay, we're in. And we're not. There we go. Got the bolt loose. Sucker was on there pretty tight. Well, same thing with this one. Need to screw it back on there a little bit just to get it out. Let's see if I can. There it goes. Put that over there on the wet film gauge too. And let's take this housing off. Okay, we'll set these screws to the side. Looks like 4 screws. Okay, can we pull it off? I think so. We kind of gotta wiggle it because it's wanting to pull the gears out. So I think we need to give this a little love tap as well. This is like literally the meme, huh? This is a hammer. Okay. Let's move this guy out of the way. Let me see if I can not tear up the gasket too while I'm doing this. Maybe there's something blocking that. Let's take this off just to see. Because maybe I'm forgetting something. Man, I don't know what that's for. Oh wait, I think that's to hold this in place. Goes in there. Yeah, I think so. Can't really see through there. Jeez, man, this thing really does not want to come off. And there's a gasket in there too that I don't want to tear up. Another alarm going off, stopping my video. I got too many alarms. Let's see. Man, I don't know what the deal is. This thing's like stuck. And I'm getting more and more greasy, slippery trying to mess with this stuff. think I can't hammer that down because there's gears in there that'll only go so far down. I cannot remember how I did that. This is a little bit reckless, but let's give it a couple. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to retake these, the gear and the drive roll off. The only problem is that everything spins freely, but if you look down in there, well, really hard for you to see on camera. There it is. You can see that tiny little gear down there. So the goal is this, the end of these is going to lock up with that gear. Stop the drive roll and the gear from turning. So just go ahead and screw that in there. Okay, so alright, now it does not move. So we can take it back off with our keys, and I cleaned up a little bit whenever I had to put everything in a box instead. I don't know how this is going to work on YouTube, but if you're desperate enough, you'll figure it out. So, let's see. I would have been desperate enough at one time. There were no videos for taking apart a 14E. There was a better way to take these things off, but I guess it's just what you have to do. Got it. That was a lot easier this time. This looks like it's going to be a nightmare to put back together, but it's really not that bad. Okay, now let's see if this housing will let us take it off. Oh, I need to take this off. Okay. Ah, there it is. Okay. So the question is, why would that not come out the other way? I don't know. It's gonna be a lot easier to clean now, though. Okay, so there's that. gosh, forgot about that gasket. It's covered in grease. Let's just take it off there so I don't mess it up. Okay, so what we really wanted to look at was inside of this. See if it's got any nicks or anything. Nicks or scratches to let that oil come through. I'm gonna need a new rag soon. I don't really see any rubber gaskets in this area. I may actually try to clean it out with some soapy water. Start with a clean slate. If there were any gaskets, I guess that would be the safest thing on them, to not dissolve your rubber gaskets with like mineral spirits or anything like that. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna take that to the sink and clean it out and bring y'all back when I got everything cleaned up and checked out. It's ready to put back together. Alright, so it's still the same day, but I didn't want to leave you guys out of the loop with what I'm doing here. So I have all this loose. I did just start hammering on those threads with just my hammer here, and it went down there because I'm trying to wash this out with water, but this is a bearing and I really don't want to get water in that. So now I'm just trying to pull the rest of the weight out of here. To get like some sort of punch or something to get it out. I'll be able to just rest it. Yeah, I can rest it right there. And then let's put this Allen back where it goes. I'm gonna be kicking myself later on. No, that's not where it goes. I believe it was this one, because my other Allen is still, you know, still got that thing on it, like the just threaded round stock, pretty much. I don't know what you call those pieces. Okay, so now let's get smaller Allen, aka my punch. Stick it right in the middle of there, and boom. There's that piece. Finally got it out. So that'll be one of the pieces that I do not get water on. Everything looks like it's good here too. I've never actually taken that piece out. I'm hoping this is not one of those tear downs where I have to re-tear it down 5 different times to figure out whatever I forgot. So there's that piece. Just gonna set that to the side. Oh, well, I guess I have to knock out those bearings too if I want to clean this. That's fun. You know, I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to wipe this out. Yeah, because there's a third bearing in there. Sheesh. I'm just going to wipe this out the best that I can, just to try to get that old oil out. And, yeah, I'll be back whenever we're ready to fully put this thing back together. Actually, well, we need to take a look at this and try to determine why oil is making it through that that area that we looked at before. So let's get our Allen. Take this this turbine off. Gotta be really careful here. I cut myself pretty bad there last time. You know, it might be the same Allen that's in that other piece. Here it is. Yep, that's it. Barely on there. And then let's just make sure when you put it back, put it right back on that groove. Just throw that in there for now. And let's take this guy, pull him right off, put the shaft in the box. Try to run my fingernail across here, see if I feel any nicks. Man, I really don't feel anything. Let's see if is it setting on this shaft weird or something? Looks like it's not hugging the shaft very well. And it feels a little gritty. Oh, try to get that piece of hair out of here. It might have felt gritty because it says, it has words right there. Standard speed, metric. You can't really see it. Just using my phone. Metric, standard speed. I don't know, man. The only thing that makes sense is that this is supposed to keep oil out, and oil's making it in. I don't see any crazy nicks on here or anything like that, so we're gonna try a new one of those gaskets, and honestly probably a new shaft since these threads are just not there. So, alright, until I get new parts.